Clap, clap, clap.
Oh, this is just us clap.
Human claps.
Make it clap.
Yeah.
But we're
Clap.
safe here. But we're safe.
What do you mean?
Human claps.
I was singing the song. I don't know.
Yeah. Because they.
I don't know anything
ready?
about that.
Hey, what up? We are back. How y'all feeling? We're back. We ready to take our victory lap?
Man.
We stunning on these dudes.
It is snowing.
But yeah, it is snowing, Miracle. But we stunning on them.
No.
We stunning on them election
cold.
time. What's up now? Huh?
Man, how
What's
you like
up
me
now?
now? get a Kumo D drop.
History again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, before we get into our
Even though it looks like we're gonna lose the Senate.
no,
House.
actually,
Or the House, yeah. The House,
yeah. That was New York's fault. I mean,
Yeah,
that ain't
you know.
what we touched.
Yes.
Everything we touched.
Turned to gold.
Man.
You already know what it is. I'm just X. I'm co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media, and we not only had victory. You know how we celebrated?
How?
We went to Wakanda, man. Yo, we went to Wakanda, Miracle. Man, we had a good end of the week. All right, so
I mean, you know, it was good, but it was heavy.
it was heavy, but it was
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect story if you're grieving.
Yeah.
100%. Yes,
Allegedly.
I thought was. So to my immediate right. Speaking of,
It's the freezing frenemies.
oh, you got your. I can turn
It's not gonna make it
towards
better.
you, Miracle.
It's
I
okay.
believe in miracles.
Shout out to my blessings.
Yes.
But it's your girl Miracle. I'm here, cold, hungry, regretting life decisions.
Oh wow.
But I'm here,
Well, you know,
happily here.
they do need a miracle in Georgia right about now.
It's cold there too. We need somewhere at the beach
Oh
and
yeah,
sun and sing.
I feel you. My brother.
It's your boy.
Yes.
Trouble never like supremacy.
Yes.
Niggas love sustenance. You know what I'm saying? We had a next level Sunday. For me, thanks to Miracle.
Oh, we did have a next level
Yes.
Sunday. Yes. The brunch. We had brunch.
We had nigga brunch.
Yes, and it was very good. We saw the first episode of Brunch with a Black Man featuring Farouk.
I love that they kept nigga brunch in the beginning. You hear Sydney saying nigga
And we
brunch.
had a
take
next
one.
level Saturday.
Yes,
What's your
we
open
did.
mic? I heard it went really good.
It was dope.
Shout out to ATC.
Niggas love speaking.
Niggas love spitting.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Wait, did you introduce yourself? Say your name. Okay.
our next level shaman. You know what it is. And sir, who are you today?
The hungry as a hostage. Man. Yes. The famished Farouk. The supreme Asiatic, intelligently divine, and also the smooth, attractive, irresistible Dandara. Come on,
You
man.
were practicing over the
They
weekend.
just come up to me, man. They just come to me, just like that. Like
No,
that.
sir.
Come on, man. Get me. Listen. Listen, the
what
divorce rate will double if my DMs go public. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with
The
me.
smooth.
The smooth, attractive, irresistible Dandara. Don't know. Come on, bruv. Listen.
I'm sorry.
The light-skinned Lothario, man.
Oh my
You
God.
know? The conscious Casanova.
Oh.
So you can say it, but I can't.
What? Yes.
light-
As a matter of fact, I
The
can.
light skin. What was it?
The light-skinned Lothario.
Oh yeah. Somehow when you say it, Miracle, maybe
It just sounds aggressive. It just
Comes out
sounds
as bullying.
demeaning. Anytime Miracle, you can't even pronounce the letter L no more.
Damn,
Just take that out your vocabulary.
Is it because she's darker?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say why it is, Treble.
It is.
I'm just gonna let
It
you know
is.
that she can't say
Colors.
nothing about being light skinned.
It's-
And you know
Colorism.
what? You know, Treble, we're gonna save the Civil War for their side. Okay, so one of the great things. So like I said, like Pennsylvania, we made history. Shout out to us. Can we get another clap? Clap it up for Summer Lee. You know what I'm saying? First black congresswoman in Pennsylvania history.
Say that again.
First black congresswoman in Pennsylvania history. Not from the Philly side.
Nah, not from the east side.
From the west side. You feel me? We had the first black lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania history. Shout out to our brother Austin Davis.
Yeah, man.
Right? Fetterman won.
We're getting blacklisted all over again.
Shapiro won. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you know, we can
Deluzio, and they came at that.
the
brother.
professor.
The professor won. You know what I mean?
This egghead nigga in his degrees trying to tell people what
Lindsey
to do.
Williams won.
Yeah,
but then also, my district.
Your district.
Our rep is the first black queer.
Yeah, Latasha
Mays, woman in history. Come on. So it was a dope, you know, we had a good, you know, we were afraid the last time we recorded. We were nervous.
What did Aaron Hall say? Don't be afraid.
Yes.
Ime, was that Aaron Hall or was that Teddy Riley?
I believe that was Aaron Hall.
That was Aaron Hall, yeah.
That was right before like R. Kelly just took his whole demeanor
shit,
and
man.
career.
Listen, man. I forgot because when R. Kelly had the baldy,
he
and the dark glasses.
Over from,
I forgot all about that era.
Well, karma,
man. I remember one time I said Aaron Hall had a head like a boneless ham on Twitter.
Didn't you say he blocked you or something?
No,
like
his
that?
wife came at me.
Oh wow!
Oh, shit.
Lord have mercy.
She about to come at you again.
back in the day. Now I forgot what I was saying.
We were nervous last.
We were
episode.
nervous. We were nervous. We weren't sure what was going to happen.
The numbers were not looking good.
They were,
No,
but you know they predicted this red wave miracle.
Polls don't vote.
And then they said, polls don't vote. People do. That's a good one. Yeah.
Did you just come up with that?
That's a T-shirt.
Oh,
Somebody else.
That's a
but
t-shirt.
I'll take it for today.
Yes.
come on, man. Come on.
And they said a red tsunami. Like they was talking their stuff.
A crimson tide.
Just don't say it sound right when you say it.
Oh, it's so funny. And you know,
tide.
the young people came out. The black people came out.
And now they trying to
brown
raise the
people
voting
came
age
out.
to 21.
Really? Are they trying to do that?
Yes, they're trying to raise the voting age to 21.
Lord have mercy.
So you can go to war at 18, but you can't vote till you come back. If you make it back.
We're not
If you make it back, nigga, we might let you
We're not
go.
letting it go down. So one of the repercussions is now it's looking like an all-out civil war
Oh, man.
in the Republican Party.
I love white on white violence.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful to
Nothing
watch.
makes me
right?
happier than white on
Because
white
it
crime.
seemed like everything Donald Trump touched
Turn to ash.
turned to ash.
This nigga literally burnt down his own house and just stood inside like, I have the best fire. I burn things down better than anybody.
Well, it's funny because somebody brought up when I think it was when Trump was running the first time, and Lindsey Graham had tweeted out a tweet that said something to the effect of, you know, if Trump becomes president, he's going to destroy the Republican Party and will deserve it. And so, you know, it seemed all of these election deniers that Trump wanted into office, they all lost, right?
Right.
All of these like MAGA governors, we just heard that the one in Arizona, that was the last one, she lost, right? So all of these, Mastriano lost by the largest margin.
He got blown out the water.
Yeah, in 40 years of Pennsylvania gubernatorial politics. And so like, you know, Oz lost and all of these now it's one holdout. That's why we might need you to drop into Georgia. But you know, right, so right now they're attacking Donald Trump. Now the Republicans are attacking Donald Trump. It's so beautiful to see. This was Ann Coulter, you know what I'm saying, a horrible human being.
The salt of the fucking planet Earth, man.
Absolutely horrible. She
Like,
said,
how bad do you have to be for
yeah,
Ann Coulter to
Ann
shit
Coulter.
on you
Well,
in your own house?
Well, this is to Trump. She said, "You had your chance with the Republican House and Senate. You handed domestic policy to your son-in-law and Gary Cohn. You handed foreign policy to your son-in-law and a country that gave your son-in-law $2 billion. Shut the F up forever." Oh man. One of Trump's former sycophants, Mo Brooks.
The Trumpettes.
Mo Brooks sounds black. He's white. He
It
sounds
does,
black.
like Mo
don't
Brooks. Yeah,
Mo Brooks.
Well, at
Sounds
first-
like a hot MC name,
First,
right?
it sounded like
Facts.
Mel Brooks. I was thinking Mel Brooks at first, and then Mo Brooks. You know, but Mo Brooks called Trump dishonest, disloyal, incompetent, and crude.
Yes,
They're about to make a diss record.
Hey,
man.
yo, he said it would be a bad mistake for the Republicans to have Donald Trump as their nominee in 2024. Donald Trump has proven himself to be dishonest, disloyal, incompetent, crude, and a lot of other things that alienate so many independents and Republicans. Even a candidate who campaigns from his basement can beat him.
Like Bill O'Reilly. Doesn't Bill O'Reilly campaign from his basement or broadcast from his basement?
I don't know, but that was kind of a cold-blooded, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, but again, this was somebody who Mo Brooks was a fan of, right? Then
they're sacrificing. I told you before.
Yeah. Wait. We're not done because then Candace Owens came out.
Man.
Fresh from her defense of Kanye West, I guess.
How you would defend Kanye and diss Trump?
I mean, I don't know.
That's a wild stance.
She said Trump needs to take a good look in the mirror. He's
So do you,
too
Candace.
old.
so do you.
Yeah, Candace. I mean, it's like
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
I mean, I know it's like okay,
Nigga,
Candace.
you black after all.
Stop it.
And then it's like, okay, there's one thing to like have self-hate for yourself, but it's like that doesn't mean your hairstylist can't be black. Like that doesn't. Come on, Candace. Why are you in those? You don't belong in those beauty shops.
Maybe they don't. Maybe the people don't allow her to come in.
Maybe, and if they didn't, that would be their prerogative. But she said Trump was too old and he was rude to her. So now Trump, and then wait, we're not done. Mike Pence did an interview. You have that video?
Mike Pence has a reason.
Mike Pence has real beef.
Yeah, I was saying, Mike. If anybody is going to be able to say
Mike
something,
Pence to get one.
Yeah, 100%.
It was like Ricky.
Yes. I mean, sent the car for Mike Pence, like, get in. Mike Pence was like, I don't know about this one.
It'd be like Ricky from Baby Boy. Like, I mean, from Boys.
Ricky! Yeah, he was going to let him get his.
Man, they was going to fuck Pence up, bro. Like, hold on.
Oh, you going to play it?
Yeah.
It's Mike Pence on...
Members were barricaded inside the House chamber. And in the middle of it all, you can see that the president has tweeted. 2:24 p.m., the president tweets, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done.
Mike Pence a bitch.
His mama a bitch, his daughter a bitch, his wife a bitch, and he's a bitch.
It angered me.
It angered me.
Yeah. Of course it did.
He was like, mother.
But I turned to my daughter who was standing nearby, and I said, it doesn't take courage to break the law.
I don't think I've ever heard Pence
It
talk.
takes courage to uphold the law.
Ooh.
I mean, the president's words were reckless.
Fire, more fire.
It was clear he decided
He's
to be part of
always
the
very
problem.
monotone. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Very
Members were
It's clear that he was part of the problem. And then, hold up, one more. And then one of Trump's surrogates came out. Marjorie.
Every time you say one of Trump's people came out, I just keep waiting for them to be like, hey, you know what I mean? You know, the real coming out noise. I don't know.
Marjorie Taylor Greene said she isn't afraid of a GOP civil war. We're going to fight it out.
I got a question for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are you afraid of jail?
I mean, you know, probably not. I mean, she seems like the type of person that maybe has been to jail before.
She might, Marjorie Taylor, she might be like on some thug shit on the low.
100%.
Like, you get me? Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she might be on some real, like, you know, with the shits.
She said politics is a blood sport. She's ready to get it on. So apparently
Politics is a blood.
somebody's going to challenge
that's
Kevin
some
McCarthy for the House. You know, it looks like the Republicans are keeping the House, but or somebody's going to challenge McCarthy for Speaker of the House. The Senate, you know, they're talking about replacing Mitch McConnell.
Can you imagine what the debate is going to be like between he who must not be named and Ron DeSantis?
You mean Ron DeSanctimonious?
Ron DeSanctimonious, man.
So
Ron
Who knows? He may be going
Ron
to jail.
DeSanitation.
So Miracle. And then Donald Trump supposedly is announcing tonight,
man.
that he is running
Tonight with Trump.
for re-election.
Trump 2024.
Oh man, I am.
Now,
just,
does he have to announce his running mate yet, or just announce that he's running?
I do not know, but it would be fascinating. I mean, of course, obviously it ain't gonna be Mike Pence.
No, it's not gonna be.
So who is running? And it might be
Yeah, Jesus.
a former Adidas
Jesus Christ.
employee. I don't know. I don't even think Trump's gonna do that. But so what? How do y'all feel about the pending GOP civil war?
Man,
it seems
get the popcorn.
Seems like the red wave came early for Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not in his favor. It's
Oh
waving
no,
him out.
no,
You know what
it's
I mean?
waving him out. Yes.
Yeah.
The hunt for Red October is on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Great film.
Yes.
Great film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate you. Thank you
We
both.
gotta stop being friends. Like,
Yes. 100%. The twins. Twins
Man.
20.
No, I get the popcorn, man. This is the white on white violence I pay Hulu for.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is fascinating to watch because it almost had to come to this.
They
because
didn't really leave themselves with another option.
Well, Trump is about him.
Right.
He does not care about Republican Party as a whole.
Not at all.
He cares about him.
Wasn't it alluded to earlier? Was it last year that he was going to start his own party? That he was going to create a new Republican Party.
He probably when they were kind of coming at him over January 6th.
Yeah.
He probably threw some of that out there, but then the tide turned, right? Even after January 6th, they all jumped back on the Trump bandwagon. Now the rumors are, and I'll come to you, Miracle, that the GOP wants Trump to be found guilty of these,
It's not going to happen.
He's not going to be found guilty?
It's not going to happen.
So do you think that... Okay, so what now? Okay, so then he's running. He's not going to be found guilty. He's running, and it looks like
This is my
DeSantis is running. Like,
this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay,
if
break it down.
By chance Trump gets indicted, I think he's taking everybody down with him.
Oh wow,
he's going to. What was the movie that Denzel Washington played? When he was
American Gangster.
Yeah, I think. What's the man's name?
Frank Lucas.
He's going to Frank Lucas the people.
Oh wow,
that's what I see.
Yeah.
I mean, he got receipts. Unless he flushed them down the toilet.
He did, right?
No, he is someone who has receipts. He's
they're in his house illegally.
Power, and he's going to be like the other Denzel Washington. This is what you're doing to me. This is what he's going to do. Like
he's going to be like
Training Day.
Okay. I thought he's going to be like Wesley on the stand. It wasn't me. Yeah. That light-skinned brother right there. He was the one, the mastermind.
Like, I see y'all. Like, y'all want to move away from me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's going to happen. But no, I don't think that it's gonna anything bad is gonna happen. I find it interesting that he was like, I basically put DeSantis in office.
He did say that.
What votes were stopped? What votes were like? What does that mean? Broward County, 100%. That's a black area.
Yeah.
So like, are we getting another governor that's going to jail? Like, is the Illinois curse moving down south? It's going to be very interesting.
That is interesting. He did throw that out about like the feds and something participated in DeSantis' election, and it kind of went under the radar, but maybe, like you said, maybe that was like a little warning shot to DeSantis to say, oh, I got dirt on you too, if we want to kick up dirt and so
is it going to be Trump and Russia versus Florida?
That's a wild fight. That is a wild fight.
I think Florida can beat Russia. Have you ever been to Florida?
And then we may not have Twitter, so we may not have like a social media app to push for election change.
True.
So
we may not have Twitter.
Wait, who might not have Twitter? Trump?
No, Trump. Twitter. They're saying Twitter might be bankrupt. Like they're saying, like people are getting fired all over the place. Of course.
That nigga bought Twitter and ran it straight to the ground.
I mean, the dude said everybody can get a blue check.
Yeah.
And then, and people are saying this might be the most consequential $8 ever purchased. Was the person that purchased the blue check and then parodied Eli Lilly. And basically said, now we're giving insulin away for free. The tweet goes
not all
viral.
Heroes wear capes.
Hey.
Not all heroes wear capes.
And they're saying like Eli Lilly's stock dropped and they lost billions of dollars of evaluation.
Look at God.
How amazing. You know what I'm saying? So like now, they could possibly sue Twitter for allowing this to take place and allowing that tweet.
White on white crime.
Oh yeah, it's on. It's all. Oh, I love it.
Takbir. Allahu Akbar. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good.
White on white crime. That's the name of this episode, right?
John. The name of this episode.
White
on white crime
happening.
And they make it FTC, the trade regulations.
Yeah.
And they're also talking about they're violating so many European laws that they didn't really think about.
Takbir.
I would miss Twitter. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, So even like I said, the blue check fiasco produced some of the funniest things that I've ever seen.
You know what
on
I miss?
Twitter.
I
It's
miss
hilarious.
Twitter after dark.
What'd you say?
Jabuki, how we say
Oh
his
yeah,
name?
Jabuki. Yeah,
He
said-
started it.
Who's
He did start
Jabuki?
it.
He was
He
the
was
one a couple years ago who changed his profile to the FBI and was like, just because we killed MLK doesn't mean we can't miss him.
That was an epic.
Yes, and he
internet
really
moment.
was
Yes.
he was the forefather of the blue check, massacre that we saw just take place. You know what I'm saying? Because literally it led to like companies losing like millions and millions of dollars.
Companies losing everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's sad
yeah.
because
Billions.
when the situation happened in Indianapolis and in the University of Virginia, when people were tweeting out, "Hey, there's that active shooter," or something, people were like, "Oh, it's just a joke,"
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we
they
didn't
were
know.
like, "Oh, the blue check stuff is happening." People were just lying.
Yeah.
And so it really goes to show like how this man
Yeah,
took this very successful company
100%.
and just ruined its legitimacy within a matter of days.
Yeah, but not even a
Like,
full week.
Yeah,
companies are leaving Twitter. Like,
yeah. I mean,
established, well-known.
Does this mean
companies.
Instagram's going to get better?
No, because Instagram does the same. This is my take. I feel like these tech bros, and y'all say I bully them, and I understand this. These tech bros grew up without love, friends, and family.
Yes,
And
that's
so
a fact.
the way they run these platforms is they try to do it what they wanted as like a kid. They wanted to know what was popping.
Yeah.
So then you have to have all this crap in your feed that you didn't want. They wanted to be with the cool kids. So like you have to know like who's cool, who got circles. Nobody, people just want a chronological timeline.
That's true.
That's all I'm asking
But
for.
Chronological
that's
timeline.
all I want,
and
man.
we can't get that
Well,
because like people want to be like, I want to be famous.
Not only that,
It's
but I
friends.
think
It's
for
stupid.
the algorithm is to sell products, right? And I think that's what I mean. You had somebody impersonate Tesla, right? I mean, Elon's own company, and they tweeted, honestly, the 53% drop in stock price doesn't faze us. If there's anyone who knows about crashing, it's us. So I mean, you just had
and their cars fall apart. And I
yeah. Their cars totally fall apart.
They kill
mean, they're
people.
just- they
And you
actually
can
kill
burn
people.
alive
Yeah.
in a Tesla.
It was just a very expensive experiment. That's
and
all
people
Tesla
still
was.
buy them.
Yeah.
Like I just
But
don't understand.
again,
and they're not that cute.
Right. And like, people are lauding Elon Musk, and that was the thing is he's being exposed as actually who he is. He isn't similar to Trump. He's not this great businessman.
Right.
He's somebody that's good at marketing Elon Musk. Like he's good at marketing himself and making you think he was somebody that was this genius guy. But then when you actually see him in real time, like take over a business
Right.
and he's like literally like running into the ground. Like I'm sure somebody told him that if you just give everybody a blue check, something like this could happen. And he just said, F
Fuck
it, let's
it.
do it anyway. Yeah. And you had all of that happen. Yeah.
I will once again submit that Elon Musk,
He wasn't loved as
similar
a child.
to Trump, gets away with stuff because people want to be in their positions to get away with stuff too.
100%.
People
Yes.
like, I want to be a trust fund baby
Yes.
out of like apartheid and stealing
Yes.
land.
Yeah,
So that
absolutely.
way I can have kids with my employees and I can steal this idea and I can still,
Yeah.
I want to be a mean person. And that's their brand.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not going to hold them accountable or responsible because they want, when they make it and they get successful, that they won't be held accountable and responsible.
Well,
too.
I mean, and
and
we'll
we
see.
just all have to like deal with the consequences.
I think we'll see, because when you see other companies losing billions, like we might see this white on white crime, right? I mean, you just saw this guy, what was the guy's name? Sam Freed or whatever. What was the FTX guy
Sam Snead,
that lost?
the man with the master plan.
No, this guy lost like $16 billion in one day. He went from a
yeah.
billionaire to like having
Apparently
no
they
net worth.
stole all the money and siphoned it off
I
somewhere.
mean, yeah, it's so it is a lot of white on white crime happening because these white folks are losing money at this rate, and so you see them kind of turning on one another. But Trump does have one last hope, Miracle,
No.
and that last hope,
Not some gas guzzling cars.
no, his last hope is in the state of Georgia, Miracle.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
It's a runoff, and his last hope is a.
The fact that I have
Herschel
to go
Walker
knock doors.
played football when the helmets were soft.
The fact that I have to go knock doors.
Yes.
His egg is scrambled.
They took the link down.
I can listen to this
Oh.
nigga, man.
Yeah.
The helmets were squishy when this nigga played.
So Herschel made it to a runoff. Warnock had more votes.
Didn't they want Warnock deported? Who wanted?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley wanted, they wanted Warnock to go back. Right. But that's that spirit, right?
Yeah.
Go back to Africa because, although, and it was wild when they broke down like the Georgia race, right? The fact that basically, these were white evangelicals that all voted for Herschel Walker. It's so fascinating to me. White people in Georgia, regardless of gender or education, chose Herschel Walker over an actual reverend.
Say that last part again. Regardless of education.
Regardless of gender or education.
The last part of that sentence is a lot less alarming than the
Look, 90%.
The predicate is not as
70% of white people voted for Herschel. White men, white women, all of them all voted for Herschel. White women who graduated college. Like, it didn't matter. White people voted for Herschel Walker, despite, to take a quote from Dave Chappelle, who I thought was interesting, called Herschel Walker observably stupid. It says 88. This was a guy, Brian Tyler Cohen. 88% of white evangelical Christians in Georgia voted for a domestic abuser who paid for abortions over a literal reverend, because it's always been about power and not holiness to them. So comments, Miracle, is your state we got a runoff?
We gotta work because we just gotta work.
We know if anything that nigger can do, he can run.
No,
so run off. We like his chances. We're gonna get behind him.
Too far. Number one. Number two, a lot of things are at play. Number one, the state of Georgia changed a lot of their voter laws, so we had a lot of voter suppression in the state of Georgia. They reduced the way you could do voting.
Melanin?
They took down.
They reduced melanin in Georgia?
Mail-in voting. Now,
Oh,
listen,
okay.
I'm being nice. I've been nice this episode.
Have you?
I have.
Okay.
This episode.
All right.
They reduced mail-in voting.
Mm-hmm.
They took away drop boxes, a whole bunch of stuff. But the reason people cannot go and vote Thanksgiving weekend
is because
the great state of Georgia has to celebrate Robert E. Lee.
That's fucking
And it's a Robert E. Lee holiday.
That is so wild, man.
So we are closed the weekend.
How is that? I mean, it's Georgia. I'm not surprised, but like...
First of all, when we it's Georgia, you're not surprised. Stuff happens. We have voter suppression here in Pennsylvania.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
the fact that
but
Robert E. Lee
we are the
still
first state that
holiday.
has 2 black people as finalists for a Senate candidate. No other state has done that.
I mean, does it really matter when it's Herschel Walker?
Yes.
It does?
It does. I mean,
Okay.
black is still there.
Is it?
It's there. Look somewhere.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay.
So we can't. I mean, it's not the best. I'm not the happiest.
I mean,
but we gotta fight. There's a lot of stuff.
Is Herschel Walker black excellence?
If he wins, we will have to celebrate.
He's
as the second
Terry Crews excellence. I don't know about black. I just sent you that clip.
Yeah.
According to this video I seen on Twitter, this very emotional video of a white man
talking
about Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
He's who's going to bring black people to the Republican Party.
Do you have that? I did.
Not ASAP Rocky? Hold on. We got to hear what Herschel had to say, though, because...
Are we talking about the gas guzzling car?
No. We're talking about Herschel and his geographical prowess, his patriotism. So many things on display in this clip. We just have to behold the marvelous black excellence that is Herschel Walker.
Do you know we're the greatest country in the United States in the world because we have the United States military?
We're the greatest country in the United States? In the world?
In the world. Wow.
Okay.
I mean, how do you retort that? There's so many facts that were just given.
I'm not going to defend Herschel Walker, but what I'm not going to do
you're not
is
going to what?
I'm not going to defend Herschel Walker, but I'm not going to sit here and let people talk about his intellect because that plays into a stereotype that black men are dumb.
Miracle Walker. Herschel Walker played football.
Herschel Walker played football when the helmets were soft.
You've seen countless of other stupid candidates run for office, from Sarah Palin to the woman in Arizona to all these other people. So
George Bush.
Black people deserve equity, and if white people get to have dumb politicians, so do black people, and therefore,
but see,
we're gonna move on to a different topic.
So I don't look at it like that. I don't look at that like because we've had Barack Obama, who Herschel said he would put his resume.
I'm trying so
like
hard.
we've had a slew of intelligent black candidates. Again,
Jesse Jackson was sharp
at his celebration party.
What'd you say?
Have you seen his? You got to Google Herschel Walker's dancing.
Oh man! Now I have to see this.
Yeah. And but Miracle, I think that. I think that like you said, like to me, it's obvious. Like I mean, the guy's talking about the air over China. Just gotta move over here. We just gotta move the China air, and we don't need no more trees. We got too many. Why we got all these trees? I mean, clearly the dude is not very bright. You know what I'm saying? And so like I don't look at that.
Relevant.
But like I said, I don't look at it as a race thing. I'm not saying that he's not bright because he's a black man.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
There's only so much burden I can bear from my state embarrassment.
Oh my God, he is embarrassed. Now, did you want to play the clip? Because Trouble mentioned Lindsey Graham.
Yep.
Got emotional.
Lindsey Graham trying to keep his secrets from coming out.
Right. That is true because Lindsey Graham is being investigated by Georgia for, his role in trying to make the state go to Donald Trump. And so Lindsey Graham was on Sean Hannity's show talking about his feelings around Herschel Walker. Can you play? And this is
very, very intimate feelings.
Yeah, I mean, but this is,
Stop.
How white people look at a black man you can control, right? You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. Here we go, Lindsey Graham.
He was very
and here's the most important point I'm going to make tonight. They're trying to destroy Herschel to deter young men and women of color from being Republicans. If they destroy Herschel, it will deter people of color from wanting to be a conservative Republican because you just have your life ruined. We cannot let that happen. We need to have his back. If Herschel wins, he's going to inspire people all over Georgia of color to become Republicans, and I say all over the United States. Herschel Walker is a nightmare for liberals. He's an African-American conservative. They have belittled him. They have treated him like crap. His family. Stand by Herschel tonight. If you can give. If you know somebody that can give, ask them to do it. TeamHerschel.com. The conservative movement for people of color is on the ballot in Georgia. We must help people like Herschel for the benefit of our country and the future of conservatism. TeamHerschel.com, please.
If it's on the ballot, how come no black people are voting for it? I mean, you think it, but I mean, he has to make a point because Miracle, I mean, if Herschel wins, right? Like just me or anybody at this table, all we got to do is pretend to be Republicans and they'll put millions. We don't have to be excellent. We don't got to be smart. We don't got to be sharp. We just got to
Killer Mike for an invite to the swearing-in ceremony.
Killer Mike. If Killer Mike popped in. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Killer Mike just said vote. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting to see.
Killer Mike and Keisha Bottoms are going to be there as special guests.
I guess maybe. You know what I'm saying? But
what did he say it was? The conservative colored...
The conservative colored coalition.
Conservative coloreds.
Isn't that CC?
P? Is that a real
conservative colored coalition? We launched it right here.
Oh wow!
No, that was the USSR in Cyrillic.
I don't know what that means. The USSR in Cyrillic. What is that?
Cyrillic is the Russian alphabet.
Oh, okay.
USSR was CCCP.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I just thought it was wow.
You want to show you the anti-Herschel?
No, I'm just saying,
what the hell? Where did that come from?
Can you be? How do you
you don't know what Cyrillic is? You heathen? What? I'm sorry. I don't speak Russian, sir.
Nigga, we was alive in the Cold War. We both read the same history books.
The Colored People's Conservative. Oh, man.
Wondering how we got here.
Man.
Yeah. It was Herschel's fault.
I know I'm not the only one that drew that parallel.
It's not a thing. But I was saying,
is that heat? Wait, is that?
Oh, that does sound like the heat came on.
No, you missed the joke. I was saying the KKK.
Yeah.
Now we have
now
the
with the CCC. Ooh,
well, yeah,
the Conservative Coloreds Coalition.
Man,
oh, we love it.
Listen, that's conquering our own negativity.
Creating our own narrative.
Oh man! The best thing about not getting invited to the Kool-Aid or the picnic is not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh my God!
I can't believe who gave this nigga air to breathe, man.
Terry Crews. I mean, it's fascinating that he hasn't popped up in any of this conversation.
I guess shocked.
Maybe he's learned his lesson, but
what if he shows up Something for Herschel Walker.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be. Yeah. And then, I mean, you know, we also saw, you know, in Georgia at the same time, this video go viral of a brother in prison and police like beating on him. You know, his lawyer is investigating that. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot happening.
This Kansas City drug kingpin is fucking nuts.
That is nuts, right?
Retired detective in Kansas City drug kingpin charged with conspiring to run an underage sex trafficking operation.
Yeah,
You're gonna take the police down too, and I'm just like,
and this was remembered. It was a whole conversation in Kansas City around, you know, the churches and the community saying black women were being kidnapped and there was a serial killer, and they were like, no, that never happened. And then a black woman like escaped like the serial killer's house. And so when we see this happen, it is fascinating to watch as well.
Sonny Anderson, who's one of my favorite TV chefs, said, we're going to need to review all of your cases now, boy.
Oh, 100%.
That's
100%.
a fact. Yeah.
Now, where was the, where was this teacher so this was in Texas. They want to get into this teacher.
Ethnocentric.
The ethnocentric teacher. Man. Did you want to play that video?
There was, as a matter of fact, because this is a very interesting
video.
Yes. Wow.
We'll see if the Double M might make an appearance in these comments. It says a teacher is in Texas is on administrative leave after telling students, deep down in my heart, I'm an ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
Here we go. And he thought, yes, before you ask, he was.
I like the students' response to him.
I thought the students handled it very well, but here we go.
It is.
Deep down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
So common.
I didn't say it. Wait, no, let me finish.
Hey, look. So, white is better than all.
No, let me finish.
Go ahead. Hey.
I think everybody thinks that. They're just not honest about it.
Hey, I'm not racist, though. I like all types of comments.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only think that.
Wait, so you said you are what? You are racist? You're saying you're like, you're racist?
I think everybody's a racist at that level.
No, you said you are racist.
I did. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest.
Yes,
no, I'm not saying it again. I've said it enough.
So you're racist.
I think I slightly told you to stop thinking.
Put your phone up.
I respected you. I actually respected you for a while, but like now,
I'm disappointed in you. That's what he said.
I don't think I got respect for him no more, bro.
No, you should have more respect.
Oh wow, nigger!
You should respect.
You little nigger.
Should respect this pure Aryan blood.
I think this is hilarious.
That's you should respect. Respect this white man standing in front of you, nigger.
Again, I'm just
you Velcro headed monkey.
What is wrong with this? What is wrong with you?
That's how you stop monkeys from jumping on the bed.
Please
you put Velcro
stop.
on the
What
ceiling.
the hell are you saying? What is this? What is wrong with this dude?
Behold all this whiteness.
Okay, go ahead, Miracle, and then I have a question.
So the reason I learned about
it's the racism for you?
It wasn't the racism for me. It was because this is like Young Miami's ex.
Wow.
Who posted the video because
wow.
he was like, "This is what's happening to my children,"
shit.
and like it was like finally like following gossip mags has paid off in my life.
Wow! Finally, Shade Room subscription came through.
I have the Shade Room blocked.
You've been blocked by the Shade Room?
No, I blocked them. I'm trying to like the negativity is not good for my spirit, so I'm trying to block them so I don't.
They won't break your soul, Miracle.
Right, because they can't do it because they blocked. So, moving away from it. But to me, it was a couple of things. One, it was like these kids just knew how to engage.
Yeah.
Like anti-blackness.
They definitely did.
At such a young age. And so when we're talking about critical race theory or making our schools welcoming for like all students, like what does it mean when our students have to go through this bullshit?
Yeah.
And then the second part of me was like, wow, like he was just mad comfortable. Like
he was super
just
comfortable,
like mad comfortable. Like I'm the ethno racist or whatever he called it.
Yeah, ethnocentric.
And I don't believe, and I believe I'm better than you. Like just to have that conversation. And it's like, what does that do for a psyche of a child who's just going to learn?
Yeah, but so he said deep down in my heart, I hate you niggas. From the depths of my soul.
From the depths of
fuck
my
all
soul.
y'all.
We shall overcome
And I'm out.
someday.
But no, now the question is, I guess like, and he was fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they had to.
Fired, though.
That's what I'm saying. He was honest.
Yeah, he was honest.
Like, he
right? Yeah.
basically said, look, I think the white race is the superior race. He was honest. You know what I'm saying? And he said he feels like everybody thinks that, but he was like, I'm going to say that like should he be punished for his honesty, I guess. I'm telling you, like, because he was fired. What do y'all think?
Yes.
He's like, yeah,
Yes,
get that black hating guy
It's
out of
like,
there.
I
you know what I mean?
commend you for your honesty, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
still has to be consequences.
True, and
That's
it's like,
important.
hey, bro,
Yeah,
it's
great
like,
point.
hey, bro, like, go teach a school of all white kids.
Yeah.
Like, if you think your race is superior, and you know, Jasmine's like, don't teach them either.
I'll make it worse for us.
Don't teach nobody. But yeah, it's like if you think your race is superior, like maybe you should not be teaching a classroom full of black students because they're gonna get treated worse because this is how you're thinking. And like one of the kids said, man, I thought you was. He was like, I thought it. You know, I never had the proof.
Yeah.
You told me now. Because I guess they started filming because he told them he was a racist.
Yeah.
And then they started filming, and then he tried to use big words, and they was like, no, the internet know what all them words are.
And it's funny because his dad was like, at first, I thought he was just trying to explain why he didn't do his homework and why he had a bad grade when he told my teachers are racist.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
see these videos. And it's kind of funny because you see like how everyone processes it in the video based on like race.
True.
And like how like the black kids are trying to like engage and like remain calm. Like the white kids are like laughing and like, oh my God. And the Hispanic kids are like, what the F is happening? And it's like very weird to actually watch. And it's like, I don't know if it's an all boys school, but they look like they're mostly like young boys.
It looks like young men.
Like process like all of this information and try to engage. And it reminds me of like how people always say like racism belongs in the school. Like in the classroom, just to debate ideas. Like if you can't be racist in the classroom, where can you be racist at?
Nowhere.
And to watch it happen, and like I just hope somebody loves on these kids.
Yeah.
Like hugs them.
No one talks about the
invests in
trauma.
them,
No one
supports in them, give them resources, because that's like weird. And like, what is he doing with the grades? Are all the grades equitable? Is he failing Are black boys failing his class? Like
true. Those
that's
are great
stuff
statements.
I want to know. But then it's Texas, so you don't really know. But like,
I had worked at the one school that I was employed at. There was a substitute teacher who came in after Trump got elected, and she was telling the class of like grade 3 kids openly she voted for Trump because she believed he was going to put them in order.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is she still?
No, she got fired that day.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, she got fired that day. They told her to leave. She got
a red wave, right? A yellow slip, a yellow slip wave.
Yeah,
like,
pink slip.
Yeah.
I've had racist professors before.
Oh yeah,
and it's
I'm
you have to deal with it. You can't prove they're racist. It is what it is, and it's just like I'm very happy for these kids. Like I hope they get a better teacher. And
like you said, they handled it very well.
Right.
They handled it very well.
And I'm pretty sure he's probably going to have like a GoFundMe up by the end of the day.
Of course.
And I mean, and they probably will. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse could get millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He probably can too. And I'm sure they'll support him. You know what I'm saying, as well.
He didn't say anything wrong. He was just talking about his personal views.
You know? And it's just...
So is there any other conversations that we want to have? I mean,
the noose at the Obama Foundation building was wild.
That was
yes. They found a noose. I guess one of the workers that was working on Obama's library, the library that they're building in Chicago, put a noose.
We didn't talk about Dave Chappelle's monologue.
Oh, we did not. I mean, we talked a little bit about it because we talked about him talking about Herschel Walker.
Right, yeah. Observably stupid.
I call him observably stupid, which I thought was fascinating. I mean, so Dave Chappelle, and I guess this is now like the
talking point of the internet?
No, I was going to say this is kind of like Saturday Night Live's thing. Like whenever there's like a big election, it seems like they bring Chappelle out like right after that election. You know, he did the one right after Trump was elected. He did the one when Trump lost.
Yeah.
He did this one on the midterms. He had Black Star. And it was interesting to see how he kind of waded into the Kanye Kyrie controversy that we talked about. I thought he did a masterful job at it. But again, like, I'm not Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
He's like qualified.
Yeah, I'm not. Clearly.
Immunity.
Clearly, I'm not. So, I thought how he handled it was funny, but at the same time, I thought he handled it masterfully. But the ADL felt like he continued, that he was anti-Semitic and kind of put him into the Kanye Kyrie bag. I kind of feel like, at what point, like, we kind of talked about it like before the show, like if everything's anti-Semitic is not, I don't know, because to me he brought up these tropes to joke about it. So what do you all think about?
A Miracle had a great take on this yesterday when we were talking about this, and I thought it was brilliant personally. If you would like to expound upon your point.
Yeah, I think the ADL's having their Al Sharpton moment,
right?
Where they've called everything anti-Semitic,
yes.
And now like nothing is anti-Semitic
yes.
anymore. It doesn't carry the same weight,
right?
And again, when I've had conversations with some of my Jewish counterparts, their argument is, regardless of intent, if it's anti-Semitic, it's anti-Semitic, and we have to call it out because we know violence often follows words.
Correct.
And so I think the problem is in the American discourse where we have play in the dozens, where we do specific cultural targets, that things are like cultural triggers where for us it may be a joke, but for somebody else they see it as an act of violence, and we haven't created a pathway where we can figure out how to to process that. And it's a very I would say Western Black American issue because when Ye tweeted out, I'm thinking anti-Semitic is like code word for the N-word.
Yes.
A lot of people were like, I think that's true too. And I was like, no, the difference is we're approaching this from like alternative cultures. And yes, there are a lot of things that's happening and going on. Oh Lord, the fire. A fire alarm. I just want to make sure people understand. A fire alarm. Is
that the ADL trying to interrupt this conversation?
But one of the things I was going to say with one of the things I learned, and I know we're going to have a conversation later, is like a lot of Jewish people worked in the Hollywood entertainment industry because when they were immigrating to America, entertainment was considered like lowbrow. Like you did entertainment if you weren't good enough. You did if you weren't rich. If you 100%. You were there for like show and entertainment, and you looked down. And then because of the work they put in, they built this whole business, but at the same time, when we look at it as Black people, it's like, yes, you built that business due to anti-Semitism, but that business also comes as an expense to Black people when it's like bad contracts, arguments that are going on with controlling art. And so it's a double-edged sword, and we have to be able to have these conversations and to figure out how to navigate when people have issues.
True.
And I liked how Dave Chappelle said, just because there are people there doesn't mean they have power, because there's a whole bunch of Black people in Ferguson and they don't control anything.
100%.
And I thought that was, and even though I don't really like Chappelle anymore because of the transphobia,
100%.
I thought that was a very brilliant analogy. And
100%.
Because we're looking at this as different cultural lenses.
True.
We got it as Black people, like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
But like a lot of Jewish people saw that as, oh, he's picking on us and telling people to target us again. And that is a disconnect that I'm not sure how we resolve it, but it's just very interesting to watch how everybody watches this in real time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask a question regarding this. And I don't know if this is not the correct question to ask, but like, have Black Jews been invited into this conversation? And
I think that if they are, they don't have the, I think that's another thing. Like, this conversation is being had by like these like superstar like Kanye, Chappelle, Kyrie. It's kind of, so if there are Black Jews kind of having conversations, they haven't been elevated to the point of these folks or the people commenting on.
Because
these
wouldn't
folks
that be
as well.
like the cultural, like kind of like the middle point where you can
possibly, but
yeah,
I
but
also think
they're dealing with anti-blackness because a
Right,
lot of
100%,
people
yes.
look at Black Jewish folks as not being Jewish.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
And so there is a lot of like heavy lifting.
You know what? Maybe.
That they have, but maybe that's something that we reach out and there. I
maybe,
follow people on Twitter. Like I saw last time.
Maybe
I
you
looked
can
for
text your Canadian friend and brother, fellow hip hop artist. See if Drake might want to weigh in.
No, but I went to Twitter and I was like, let me find Black Jewish folks and to follow and to see how they're engaged in this conversation. Because again,
and how were they?
And they're the same thing. It's a mixed bag, right? And then
right.
it's also like again this international component of how people who are outside of America view things than people who are like inside.
True.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of folks like even think about the African diaspora. They're like Black Americans are mean because they joke about it. I'm like we play in the dozens.
Yes.
It's like it's a bonding exercise for us. It's comedy, but again, those cultural triggers do create like these long lasting barriers. So,
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's one of my favorite comedians, Patrice O'Neal, had this bit where
God bless the dead.
He asked the audience member what was his name, and I think it was an African name.
Yeah,
and he just spent 5 minutes just joking on this dude's name, and the whole crowd is and so like
Godfrey's good at that.
Yeah,
Godfrey's good at.
I'm laughing because it was funny to me. I have an African name, and I've been joked on for my name, but I can also see how somebody that was African like that doesn't understand like. He's joking on you, like he's not trying to
insult
put you down,
humiliate you.
Because he talked about his own name being Patrice, and he was like talking about he was named after Patrice Lumumba, and how people joked on his name. But I could see somebody that maybe had that same name, or maybe if you don't understand the culture of us joking on you in a friendly way,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we're not trying to destroy you. We're that's just jokes. But I also saw a clip, and it was a Black guy talking about how, as Black people, like sometimes we look at kind of anti-Semitic tropes because we see them as a positive, right? Mm-hmm. He was talking about how like we'll look and say like, what's wrong with saying like you have power or you have money or you stick together. And he did a breakdown of it that I thought was pretty dope because he was breaking down kind of how we didn't start these stereotypes. They were started by folks, and the meaning of it was to kind of have Jewish folks to be looked at in a threatening way, right? And like you said, so like if you're like they got all the money and they got all the power, and you're somebody who's ethnocentric and you think your white race is superior, right? You then look at Jewish people as like a threat to you, right? As somebody who might be there to like challenge your hegemony in the world, right? And so therefore now violence needs to be pressed upon Jewish people. And I just thought it was a really good, how he broke it down was really thoughtful. And it was a way, like I never looked at it that way. I was like, oh wow, you're right. Because I was somebody that felt like what's wrong with that? Like what's wrong being called powerful or having money or anything? But when you look at it in the context of white supremacy and why people gave Jewish people those stereotypes, and then what the ramifications that happened because of those stereotypes in history, then it's like, oh, okay, no wonder you see this in a threatening way, and no wonder you have such like a visceral reaction to these tropes.
Yeah.
I just think of when was it Busta Rhymes put that "We Getting Arab Money" song out.
Yeah. I remember that.
And people will be like, "We love it, but this is like very problematic." But I think it's something that we do as Black people culturally. We always look at other cultures because we talk about like how Mexicans work together, how Asians stick together. 100%. We always talk about like different communities, and part of it is that some of the things that we see. So yes, it's stereotypes, but it's also because of white supremacy.
100%.
There are certain businesses that are in our communities, right? And a
100%,
lot of those are non-white businesses
that
are in our communities because non-white people of color are told, you're good enough to have a business, but not in this white neighborhood. And so there are oftentimes the barrier in between like Black people and white people.
True.
But all we see is, okay, this person has a business, this person owns this type of business. Okay, I want to be like that. Yeah. And then because of our experiences, then when we go and we get platforms, people think we're bigots or ignorant because we're only able to talk about the things that we see.
100%. And that it's also like this thing of like, as Black people, like traditionally, like we're on the bottom. Like we're seen as like on the bottom. We're like the anti-blackness is so like prevalent. And so then just like you said, so we'll look and be like, oh man, the Mexicans, they stick together and they got their own neighborhood, or we'll start to almost like lionize like other people. Oh, look at what the Asians are doing, and why can't we be like that? Why can't we have that power? And it comes from like white supremacy and kind of this black inferiority. And it's like, no, we do have, power, like groups like, there's an Africa town in LA where you can go, that we do have these different places. We just collectively support what you can.
And then I think about it from a perspective of like, imagine there was a group of black people who did have power, who did have influence, and every time black people were spoke about in the media, they referred to all of us as those people.
Are you talking about Wakandans?
You know what I'm saying? But then I'm thinking about like, it would be invalidating because not all of us are living like
100%.
that.
It's like, what I was telling people is like, it's saying like, the greatest, the best athletes in the world are black, right? But all black people aren't athletic. But like, you'll see, we have somebody that works with us, Austin, who's like 6'7", and it's like people, oh, you must play basketball. It's like, no,
a DJ
he doesn't play basketball, right? But it's that thing of like those tropes, and so some of those tropes, or it's like a trope of like, oh, you're black, therefore, well, we won't get into all of that.
But there are stereotypes, and like stereotypes do help us sometimes navigate life, right?
True.
There's good and bad to stereotypes,
100%.
right? Because like I have friends who are, I got friends who love me,
Wow.
Who will sometimes when we travel will pretend like they're like rappers or will pretend like they're famous like abroad just because that's the stereotype, so they can get into places.
Yeah.
So
I was like, where you go with Farouk?
I do not hang out with Farouk outside of work hours. Okay, Farouk is mean to me.
Well, that's all of us that you hang out with.
Y'all want to hang out with me outside of work? Is that
we are going to hang out with you to your begrudgance this Friday when we celebrate your 40 under 40. Okay, we're all coming and we're all going to celebrate
just
Miracle.
Be at home on my sofa. I wrap myself in my blanket and I sit at my little work desk, and that's what I do.
Okay, got you.
I don't really be out here like that. But I don't.
But I think
I don't be outside.
But just touching on it.
I see the look of doubt on your face.
No. But just talking about these stereotypes. I mean, because like when they go wrong, I mean, we just had, and it's almost like a case of black excellence, right? We just had a situation in New Jersey, right, where a 9-year-old black girl like reads about like
spotted lanternflies,
right? Lanternflies being an invasive species, and she learns about it on TikTok. So she goes to create like a formula to help like kill these lanternflies because they're invading our neighborhood. And then the neighbor calls the police on this 9-year-old girl, and the neighbor says like, some black woman is out here spraying stuff. I don't know what she's doing. You know what I'm saying?
In a hoodie.
Right, in a hoodie. She's a threat. And like really like weaponizing the police against this young black girl. And I really thought like, I'm just happy her family shared this and kind of stood up for this. But then it's also dangerous. Like, this is your neighbor. Like, your child can't even just go outside and do children-like things without you calling her. Like, you can't come over and like knock on my door and ask me like maybe what's going on. Right. Before you call the police?
I feel like black people have learned the art of being nosy. You know what I mean? Like, we
like
see
how to
stuff
be nosy,
outside,
but not
it's
call
like,
the police.
What's up? Like, you learn how to
Peek through the blinds.
investigate.
Yeah.
The blinds. You go walk, take your trash out.
True.
You start sweeping the stairs, even though like there's nothing out there. We have learned like the art of how to be like nosy and then be like also mind our
safe
business.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you had just like maybe went outside, like went for like a little light jog around the corner to see what was going on, maybe he could have avoided all this. Like, oh, that's my neighbor. But what are you doing? It's weird. And the fact that he was calling her a woman as a 9-year-old child.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's
is
super
like
problematic.
The problem like with adultism and how we look at young black kids as being like older than they are.
Right.
But why would you call the police though?
Facts.
Yeah.
Not whistle, not come outside and say, hey, it's in your neighborhood. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's actually doing the work of the government. She's killing these, and she's developing a formula. She could probably do something that's like going to save all of us.
Yeah.
Because apparently the government does not know how to stop these lanternflies. And she gets the police calling her. It's just like, unfortunate, but it's the reality of being a Black person in America, trying to do good and still like being treated as a criminal.
100%. Yeah. Said she was afraid to go outside. Now, one last thing, because I know we kind of like, and I think this is part of like in this conversation around like where we're having this, and again, I think like when we talk about like anti-Semitism in response to it, there were a couple clips that were from a guy that's known on YouTube named Steven Crowder that were like extremely anti-Black, and it didn't seem to like, I don't know, I didn't see the attention, like the negative attention garnered against him. One was, you know, they were talking about John Fetterman's when he gave his, you know, winning speech, and John Fetterman wears a hoodie. And he basically said, "Where's Zimmerman when you need him?"
Yeah, I'm not playing these clips.
Yeah. And another clip, he called our Vice President Kamala Harris like a genetically what do you call
generically ethnic whore.
Generically, so like how do we
know the answer to that?
But I mean, we've seen like people again. So like, what's the answer, Miracle? Is it we're not organized enough? Is
Black
it
people
we're not
are so exhausted? We have to fight. We have to fight government.
We do have to fight.
We have
everything.
to fight people on social media. We got to fight people in real life.
True.
We got to fight our neighbors.
Oh, Lord,
like we are exhausted
we're
of so much stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff for our allies. But at the same time, we know that people will put up the Black person as being this boogeyman, because that gives you the resources, that gives you the support and protection. We saw that with the Stop Asian Hate movement. We've saw this with like other movements, that if you put the aggressor as being a Black person, then that gives you more support, more protection. It doesn't matter if everybody else is doing it as well. That's what's going to get you the traction. And so we have to understand, as Black people, we have a lot on our shoulders, a lot on our plate, and it is incumbent upon us to look out for each other and support each other and love on each other. But yeah, Steven, nothing's probably going to happen to him. YouTube is not going to ban him.
He said wild shit before, and
Amazon's not going to ban him. Amazon still has the movie that Kyrie put out.
He broke the knee.
He's doing numbers. Yeah, he's doing numbers.
On that. He's going to be a millionaire.
He's doing numbers on that. $50 per movie, like he's doing numbers.
$50. I was like, what are they talking about? Because I thought it was the other. From niggas to guys or whatever.
DM Kyrie one of our shows, like
you know,
your passionate defense of Kyrie, Miracle, yes.
You know, but it is a double standard. But too much is given, much is required, and as Black people, you know, we are the creators of everything and love and support, and so this is what we just have to go through.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it would be, you know, to see, you know, if we're saying, and I think this is what we are, you know, I remember when people, you know, and there was this conversation, even in the wake of the Tree of Life in Pittsburgh, around like, you know, the Black community not getting like that level of support. And I would always say like the support that the Jewish community got in the wake of Tree of Life is support that should have happened. Like that was well deserved, and every community should get that type of support. So I think like in the same vein, like if we're saying hate speech is going to get you banned off of a platform like YouTube, and clearly you have somebody that is like reveling in hate speech, you know what I'm saying? That person should get banned off of YouTube, and it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't have to be like Wade. It shouldn't have to be like we got to call the NAACP or the Urban League or make this big show. It should be really simple as that. No, Miracle?
We have YouTube because people wanted to see Janet Jackson's boobies.
Is that why?
TMZ because they released the clip of Rihanna's bruised face. We have Sirius Radio because Don Imus wanted to call black women nappy-headed hoes.
Yeah.
We have all of this technology is built on anti-blackness.
Wow.
That's a hell of a point.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And if you think about it that way, you see why people traffic in anti-blackness in order to become successful.
100%.
And I think maybe Sean King and Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed
they're gonna all have a
should come together and be like, the people that like, okay, we got to protest this. Like that's what they could use their platform for. Not hating queer people, not messing with black women, but they could literally start an investigative agency and be like, these are the people who are being anti-black.
There might be like a Black Twitter riot if they all came.
But no, I feel like part of
it was a picture of them, all of them. They all had like their hands on top of one another. Dr. Umar, Sean King, Tariq Nasheed.
I don't think Dr. Umar would put his hand on Sean King's hand.
I think a part of
it's too light.
A part of their accountability work to the community, you know, in restoring harm is to be like, let's go after people who actually do harm to black folks. Yeah. And they could do that. And then we could know who to galvanize around and who to boycott and what subscribers to call, what advertisers to call. True. That could be their calling. Because I don't have the time to be like, who is advertised on this platform?
Yeah. It is. It's a lot. It's so much, you know, white supremacy that happens every week. We don't even really get a chance to say it all. So there is a lot. Speaking of that, do we have I noticed, I see some beautifully made One Hood flyers on the table, but I don't see a book. Can we grab one of our books? You know what I'm saying?
Do we have
my last comment
Uncle Bobby's
on what we just talked about?
Okay, give me your final comment. Trouble.
Is that I stand by Mike Tyson because he has a quote where he said, "The internet has made niggas way too comfortable with saying bullshit because you can't punch them in the face."
100%. Yeah.
So I'm with punching these niggas in the face if you catch them out and about.
Yes.
Do what you gotta do, man.
Wow.
Violence works sometimes.
It's cool when he do it. It's a problem.
Some next level savagery right there. Like, I don't know. You know, Trouble, I was taught that we respond to words with words. You know what I'm saying? But I see your point, right? If Steven Crowder knew that he had to come outside.
Yeah.
And you possibly see, remember the one dude, who was the one racist dude that was like a preppy racist guy, and he was outside doing some interview and somebody just ran up and just punched him dead in his face. You know what I'm saying? I forget his name. What was his name?
Richard Spencer.
Richard Spencer, yeah. It would be looked at a little bit differently. Like you would be a little bit more, because to be honest, like if this Crowder dude walked in here with a delivery like, oh, hey, I found a bag that said one, I wouldn't even know who he was. I wouldn't know that was him. You know what I'm saying? But if I did, it might go.
But what if it was like an Andrew Tate or like a Conor McGregor? Do you just be like,
Conor McGregor? Oh.
You'd be like, what you said hurt my feelings.
Hey, you know, I come from the America. I come from the era of I'm just gonna lose. I'm gonna get mine. You know what I'm saying? I come from that era. Hey, I might lose, but I'm gonna get mine. Like I'm not,
Cat Williams,
100%. Without not wrestling that little child. I hope it's not a 12-year-old that wrestles me down on video.
Cat Williams is my favorite comedian. So I said that was all love.
I love Cat Williams. Yeah, and yeah.
Even though I disagree with his title, I just gotta put it out there.
What's his title? This title.
This title of this book. Even though I vehemently disagree with his title.
But miracle, it's a miracle that's gonna save the world, right?
Black Women Will Save the World is the anthem by April Ryan.
That's the she's the journalist?
She is the journalist.
Okay,
you know, she went toe to toe with Trump and some other people.
Absolutely.
This is a really cool book, and so we're talking about what's going on in the world and like the violence. This is a nicer,
I like that cover. That cover is dope.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, whoever did that cover did an amazing job.
And she look her photo in the back.
Oh, there you go. Shout out to April Ryan.
So this is a book about her story and other folks about what's going on in the world and how like black women are like fighting to save it. So this is a great
absolutely
book.
And we do have some events coming up. Well, I guess by the time you're reading this, it's already our One Hood Select is sold out. You know what I'm saying? But we will have a dope conversation about grant writing as an artist from Shonda McDill, from Heinz Endowment, and Justin Lang from, is it Hilumbro? Hilumbro. Am I putting the bro? Is there Hilumbo? Oh, okay, I'm trying to make it extra black. And we're also, is there something happening Thursday? Or not? Are we announcing this? That'll be Wednesday too.
It'll be ongoing
when this comes out.
I feel like something is happening on Thursday. I'm not sure.
Me too. I feel like something's happening on Thursday as well. Yeah. I want to say something was going on Thursday. Yeah. Isn't Thursday when that meeting is going to take place or no? Is that Thursday or is that Wednesday?
Wednesday. Something's happening Thursday. We'll find out later.
Okay, got you.
Friday, we're doing a live stream, right? Friday. for the human rights.
Oh, I'm like, what the heck? Oh, yes, Friday.
Yeah.
Do we have that information?
To be honest with you, someplace, but I'm trying to find it.
Hold on. I think somebody sent it to me. I'm trying to find it as well. Friday
from 12 to 1:30, we'll be streaming Does Pittsburgh Have Human Rights for Black People on the One Hood Media Facebook and YouTube channel.
And so that'll be 12 o'clock Friday.
Yes.
Tune in to One Hood Media. And then, Saturday, there's going to be a community town hall at Obama. What time is that town hall?
That is 11 o'clock.
Okay.
11 to 2 p.m. at Obama Academy, open to all Black people in southwestern Pennsylvania.
Very cool, very cool. So, so Taking Back Our Human Rights, Shaping Black Pittsburgh's Appeal to the World. That'll be Saturday, November 19th, and that'll be at Obama Academy. Friday night we get to celebrate Miracle and her 40 under 40 piece. That'll be really dope. Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. Give it up for Miracle. All right. Well,
until next week. Peace, everybody.
Peace, love, and One Hood. Yeah, and we, victorious. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Popping our collars. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the way they mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.